In the grand corridors of the Trump Tower, where deals worth millions are forged and the stakes are high, Barron Trump often found himself quietly observing the world of business. Growing up as the youngest son of Donald Trump, the 45th President of the United States, Barron had always been in the public eye. But the world of real estate, high-powered boardrooms, and billion-dollar deals were not immediately his world to conquer. At least, not the way most people would have imagined. Most people assumed that Barron, like his father, would one day inherit the Trump legacy, stepping into his father's shoes as an unstoppable force in the world of business. But Barron had different plans. From an early age, Barron knew that his path would not be a simple continuation of the legacy that was already in place. He understood that he would have to carve out his own identity and figure out what he truly wanted to contribute to the world. While Donald Trump's name was already synonymous with wealth, luxury, and real estate empires, Barron was determined to take a different approach, one that would ultimately shock even the most seasoned entrepreneurs. While Barron Trump was always under the scrutiny of the public eye, he was never one to actively seek the limelight. Unlike his older siblings, who were already deeply involved in the Trump Organization and other ventures, Barron preferred a quieter life, away from the noise of the business world. He focused more on academics and sports, building a foundation of discipline and resilience, even though his family's empire loomed large around him. Growing up in the Golden Towers of Manhattan, Barron had a front-row seat to his father's world. He watched Donald Trump, a man known for his bold, sometimes brash business moves, but also for his unrelenting drive to win. It was a world where risk was commonplace, and reward was promised only to those who dared to take it. But Barron never felt the pressure to follow in his father's footsteps. He was different, more reserved in nature, and curious about the world beyond the skyscrapers. It wasn't until Barron turned 18 that he truly began to question his future. After graduating from a prestigious private school in New York City, the young Trump stood at a crossroads. People around him assumed he would seamlessly walk into the Trump Organization, take over a project here, sign a deal there, and continue the family legacy without skipping a beat. But Barron had other plans. At 18, Barron was already aware of the immense privilege and expectations placed upon him. However, he understood that achieving greatness wasn't about relying on the past or the people around him. For the first time, Barron realized that he wanted to make his own mark. He didn't want to simply be the son of a billionaire real estate mogul. He wanted to prove that he could succeed on his own terms, without relying on his father's name or reputation. This quiet determination led Barron to take the first steps in a completely different direction. Barron Trump's first significant move into the business world came when he enrolled in a private mentorship program outside of his father's sphere of influence. He sought out a mentor who was not part of the Trump Organization or its network of associates. Instead, Barron turned to a rising star in the tech and startup world, someone who had made a name for themselves through innovative real estate technology solutions. This decision would prove to be one of the most defining of his young life. His mentor, Sarah Hall, had built a successful real estate tech company that specialized in artificial intelligence and data-driven insights for property investors. She had a vision of transforming the real estate industry with cutting-edge technologies, making the buying and selling of properties more efficient and transparent. Barron, who had always been fascinated by technology and its potential to revolutionize industries, saw in Sarah a new kind of real estate mogul, one who was not just thinking about brick and mortar, but about the future of the industry. Barron's relationship with Sarah was grounded in mutual respect. She didn't treat him like a privileged young man looking for shortcuts. Instead, she challenged him to think outside of the box and to see real estate through a new lens. Their conversations often focused on how to leverage technology and data to make smarter investment decisions, and how to use platforms like blockchain to democratize access to high-value real estate deals. Barron's commitment to learning was unwavering. While many expected him to simply get by thanks to his family's wealth, Barron began immersing himself in the fundamentals of real estate and technology. He attended seminars, took online courses, and shadowed Sarah on real estate site visits, learning about everything from property valuation to the latest trends in smart home technologies. His passion for these subjects grew rapidly, and he was no longer just the son of Donald Trump. He was becoming an emerging entrepreneur in his own right. What made Barron's path unique was not just his interest in real estate but his approach to it. While many in his position might have relied solely on traditional methods, purchasing physical assets, managing large-scale developments, Barron wanted to go beyond that. He wanted to bridge the gap between the traditional real estate market and the tech-driven future. And this, in many ways, would mark the beginning of a new chapter in his journey. Barron Trump's decision to step away from the traditional path that many expected him to follow wasn't an easy one. The pressure to join his father's business empire was constant. Everyone around him assumed that he would be involved in the Trump organization, that he would carry the torch forward, or at the very least use his family's name to his advantage. Yet Barron had a different vision. As he continued to learn from Sarah Hall and immerse himself in the intersection of real estate and technology, Barron began to develop his own unique ideas. His ambition grew, but so did his sense of responsibility. He realized that if he were to make a name for himself in the world of business, it would have to be done on his own merit. The safety net of his family's legacy could only take him so far, but it was his own drive, intellect, and creativity that would determine his future success. It was at this point that Barron made a bold decision. He would venture out on his own. Instead of waiting for opportunities to come to him, he would create them. With a deep understanding of how technology was reshaping industries, Barron sought to bring innovation to the real estate world. He wanted to make the process of buying, selling, and investing in real estate more accessible, transparent, and efficient, particularly for the next generation of investors who were tech-savvy and interested in more than just traditional brick-and-mortar developments. Barron's first major project was the launch of a real estate tech startup called VisionX. The platform was designed to use artificial intelligence and blockchain technology to streamline the property search and transaction process. It would allow buyers to access data on properties in real time, offering insights on market trends, investment potential, and even property valuations based on AI-driven algorithms. For sellers, it promised an easy-to-use interface to list their properties, with an integrated digital payment system powered by blockchain, ensuring secure and transparent transactions. While the idea itself was groundbreaking, the decision to take such a significant risk without the support of his father was not lost on Barron. Many doubted him. They questioned whether someone so young, with no prior experience in the tech world, could possibly succeed in such an ambitious venture. Others speculated that Barron's decision to go it alone was a sign of rebellion or a desire to prove himself, but Barron was clear in his intent. He wasn't trying to outshine his father or the Trump legacy. He simply wanted to create something new, something that was entirely his own. Barron's vision for VisionX was not to compete with the traditional real estate giants like the Trump organization but to disrupt the way business was being done in the industry. He recognized that while there was still tremendous value in physical properties, the future of real estate lay in its integration with new technologies. He believed that the next wave of growth would come from innovative digital solutions that would transform how people engaged with the property market. With Sarah's mentorship and a team of talented engineers, designers, and real estate experts, Barron set the groundwork for his startup. It wasn't easy. There were countless challenges along the way. From securing funding to navigating the complex regulations of the real estate industry, Barron faced obstacles that many would have found insurmountable. But his determination never wavered. His journey was not one of immediate success. Barron faced many sleepless nights, countless meetings, and moments where he wondered if he had taken on too much. Yet, every challenge was met with a sense of purpose. He had already made a decision to build something meaningful, something that would change the game. Building VisionX was no small feat, especially for someone as young as Barron Trump, who was still learning the ropes of the business world. The first few months of operation were filled with long hours, setbacks, and moments of self-doubt. Barron had not only chosen to build a startup in an industry that was difficult to break into, but had also decided to do so without the significant backing of his father's name or influence. The early stages were challenging. Barron had to deal with the complexities of raising capital, competing with established companies, and making sure the technology behind VisionX was solid. Investors, initially skeptical about his ability to lead a tech-driven real estate company at such a young age, hesitated to back him. Some questioned whether Barron had the expertise to navigate the complexities of real estate, while others wondered if he could even scale the company. It was during this period that Barron realized the importance of resilience. Instead of viewing rejection as a failure, he saw it as an opportunity to refine his vision, improve his pitch, and build a network of supporters who believed in the potential of VisionX. One of the pivotal moments came when Barron attended a tech startup conference in Silicon Valley, where he had the opportunity to meet a group of influential investors who were deeply interested in the intersection of real estate and technology. In a room full of seasoned entrepreneurs and business moguls, Barron felt like an outsider. He wasn't there to flaunt his name or legacy, and he wasn't seeking validation from those around him. Instead, he came prepared with a comprehensive business plan, a clear vision for the future, and a fully functioning prototype of the VisionX platform. He spoke with confidence about how his company would disrupt the real estate industry, focusing not just on the product but also on the long-term impact it could have on the market. It was at that conference that Barron finally received the support he had been seeking. An investor who had a keen interest in the future of real estate technology saw the promise in Barron's vision. After a series of meetings and due diligence, Barron secured a significant investment for VisionX. This marked a turning point for the company and for Barron himself. With the capital to grow, Barron expanded his team and began refining the platform. The real breakthrough came when VisionX launched a beta version of its app, allowing users to explore the capabilities of the AI-driven real estate analysis tools. The app offered property buyers and sellers access to real-time market trends, AI-generated property valuations, and a seamless experience for listing and purchasing properties. The response was overwhelmingly positive. Property investors, especially younger ones who had grown up with technology and valued digital solutions, saw the potential of VisionX. The platform quickly gained traction, and word of mouth spread like wildfire. Barron's quiet determination had finally begun to pay off. While VisionX was far from being a household name at this stage, it had already disrupted the market in a meaningful way. Barron's decision to move beyond traditional real estate methods and embrace the future of technology was beginning to prove itself. More investors came on board, and the company expanded its reach beyond the United States, attracting international clients eager to explore the next generation of real estate. With VisionX gaining momentum, Barron Trump found himself at the crossroads of two worlds. On one hand, he was the son of Donald Trump, the billionaire real estate mogul with the weight of a family legacy on his shoulders. On the other hand, he was the leader of a growing tech startup that was disrupting an industry that his father had mastered. Barron had managed to build something completely distinct from the empire his father had created, and it was becoming clear that he had forged his own path. Yet, the pressure to live up to his father's name was always present. For years, Barron had been defined by his relationship to Donald Trump, whether it was his public persona or the family's legacy in the business world. Now, as he began to make a name for himself in the tech-driven real estate space, Barron realized that his achievements had the potential to change how people viewed him. He wasn't just the heir to a fortune, he was an innovator in his own right. However, it wasn't without its challenges. Barron continued to face scrutiny from those who expected him to follow in his father's footsteps. Some critics said that his venture into tech was a fad, or that he was simply chasing trends in an industry that his family knew best. Others, though more supportive, felt that Barron's tech-driven approach might not be enough to shake the traditional foundations of real estate. But Barron was undeterred. He had made the decision to prove that true success wasn't about relying on legacy, but about innovation, hard work, and a clear vision for the future. The next few years were transformative. As VisionX evolved, Barron focused not only on perfecting the technology, but also on building a brand that resonated with younger generations of property buyers and investors. He marketed the platform as a tool for the modern real estate investor, one that combined the power of artificial intelligence, blockchain security, and ease of access to create a transparent, efficient, and future-ready market. Barron's entrepreneurial journey was full of lessons. He had to learn how to pivot when things didn't go as planned, and he had to learn how to inspire a team with a shared vision. But one of the most important lessons Barron learned was that building a successful business wasn't about avoiding failure. It was about learning from it and adapting. Each misstep became an opportunity for growth, and each challenge strengthened his resolve. In the process, Barron also discovered the power of mentorship. While he had initially sought guidance from Sarah Hall, the real estate tech expert, Barron soon expanded his circle to include other successful entrepreneurs from diverse industries. He sought advice from business leaders in tech, finance, and even the arts, understanding that true innovation often comes from collaborating with people who bring different perspectives. It was this open-mindedness that allowed Barron to approach problems with creative solutions, pushing VisionX to new heights. As the company expanded, Barron made it a point to give back to the community. He knew that success wasn't just about financial gain. It was about creating a positive impact on the world. Barron launched several initiatives aimed at making real estate more accessible to underprivileged communities, using VisionX's platform to promote affordable housing projects and provide resources for first-time homebuyers. It was his way of showing that the future of real estate could be about inclusion, not just profits. As Barron Trump's startup gained greater recognition, the landscape of real estate began to shift. Traditional players in the industry started to take notice of the wave of innovation he was driving. It wasn't just that Barron was an emerging entrepreneur in his own right, he was influencing the entire market. More companies began integrating AI and blockchain into their business models, and others started to adopt similar approaches to digital property platforms. However, Barron's distinct vision and his ability to blend technology with traditional real estate values set VisionX apart from the rest. The real turning point came when Barron was invited to speak at a prestigious real estate conference in New York City, an event that had previously been dominated by older industry veterans and power players. Barron, now 22, was given the platform to talk about the future of real estate and how technology could revolutionize the way people interacted with property markets. This was a moment of validation not just for Barron, but for his company and his vision. As he took the stage, Barron felt the weight of the moment. For years, he had been defined by his family and his surname. But in that moment, standing before an audience of real estate professionals, investors, and media, Barron realized that he had finally transcended that label. He wasn't just the son of Donald Trump. He was Barron Trump, a leader in his own right with a unique vision for the future of real estate. His speech was a testament to his journey, the years of quiet learning, the risks he had taken, and the obstacles he had overcome. Barron spoke passionately about how technology, data, and transparency could transform the industry, making it more accessible to everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. He spoke about the power of blockchain to eliminate fraud in property transactions and how AI could help people make smarter, more informed decisions. Barron painted a picture of a real estate market that was more democratic and less opaque, where innovation led the way, not just tradition. The response from the audience was overwhelming. Many were impressed by his confidence and clarity. Investors who had been on the fence about VisionX began to reach out with new offers of funding. Partners who had previously been hesitant to collaborate with a young startup led by someone with no traditional real estate experience were now eager to join forces with Barron. The speech was a defining moment in his career, a moment that cemented his place as a forward-thinking entrepreneur, separate from his family's empire. Barron's achievements became even more significant as the years went by. As VisionX scaled, Barron's reputation grew, not just as a businessman but as a thought leader in the intersection of technology and real estate. He began to be invited to speak at global conferences, sharing his insights on how the future of real estate would be shaped by artificial intelligence, data, and blockchain. His influence reached beyond the world of real estate, as people across industries began to see the potential of applying these technologies to other areas of business. But Barron's journey was still far from over. As he entered his mid-20s, he continued to innovate and push the boundaries of what was possible. His vision for the future of real estate had only just begun to take shape. Barron was not content to rest on his laurels. He wanted to continue building, to find new ways to use technology to empower people and make the world a better place. The challenges he faced early on, the doubts, the setbacks, the pressure, had only strengthened his resolve. And so, with each passing day, Barron Trump continued to surprise the world, showing that even without the support of his father's legacy, he could succeed on his own terms. In doing so, he proved that sometimes, the best way to honor a legacy isn't by following in its footsteps, but by charting a new course that others will one day follow. As Barron Trump continued to rise in prominence within the tech and real estate industries, his focus expanded beyond VisionX. The success of his startup was just the beginning of a larger vision for the future of property, technology, and global commerce. Barron's understanding of both the traditional and emerging aspects of real estate allowed him to see opportunities that few others could. He began exploring ways to integrate VisionX with other industries, healthcare, sustainability, and education. Real estate, after all, was not just about buildings, it was about creating communities. Barron realized that the future of real estate wasn't only about technology making transactions easier. It was about using technology to improve the quality of life for people living in these spaces. One of his most impactful projects was a collaboration with a global nonprofit focused on affordable housing. Barron saw the housing crisis in major urban areas around the world and understood that innovation in real estate could play a key role in addressing it. He launched a series of initiatives through VisionX to make affordable housing more accessible by utilizing the platform's data-driven capabilities to identify available land, analyze zoning laws, and create efficient building designs. By doing so, Barron was able to provide affordable housing options in cities where the cost of living was rapidly rising, giving lower-income families the opportunity to own homes. Additionally, Barron was deeply invested in sustainability. As he worked on new projects, he ensured that VisionX used environmentally conscious building practices and that each property listed on the platform adhered to green standards. Barron understood the urgent need to combat climate change, and he saw real estate as a key sector where sustainable development could make a significant impact. With this in mind, VisionX became a champion for eco-friendly properties, encouraging developers to build with renewable resources, efficient energy systems, and environmentally friendly designs. This pivot into sustainability not only strengthened Barron's personal brand but also helped distinguish VisionX as a company that wasn't just about making money. It was about making a difference. Barron's focus on social responsibility and environmental consciousness attracted a new wave of investors, developers, and buyers who shared his values. As Barron's reputation as an innovative businessman grew, so did his influence. He was invited to join advisory boards for major global organizations, offering insights into how technology could drive economic growth in emerging markets. He also became a regular contributor to major publications, where he shared his thoughts on the future of technology in real estate, the importance of building sustainable cities, and how to create more inclusive, transparent, and accessible housing systems. Despite all the success, Barron never lost sight of his roots. He remained a deeply private person, rarely seeking media attention. Instead, he continued to let his work speak for itself. His story, from a quiet observer to a visionary entrepreneur, inspired a generation of young people who were looking for a role model who valued hard work, innovation, and social impact over fame and fortune. Barron's relationship with his father, Donald Trump, also evolved. While the two still had very different approaches to business, there was a mutual respect that developed between them over the years. Donald, who had built his empire in a traditional, hands-on way, saw in Barron not just his son, but a business leader who was forging his own path. Barron, in turn, began to understand the immense pressure that came with running a global empire, and he respected his father's accomplishments more than ever before. Barron and Donald didn't often discuss business. Each had their own distinct approach. However, when they did talk about the future of real estate, it was clear that Barron was no longer just the son of Donald Trump. He was Barron Trump, a pioneer in his own right with a vision that was uniquely his own. As Barron Trump entered his late 20s, VisionX had grown into a global force, pushing the boundaries of both technology and real estate. He had successfully integrated his platform with artificial intelligence, machine learning, and blockchain, establishing a reputation as one of the leading innovators in the industry. But despite the company's impressive growth, Barron's work was far from finished. He knew that the journey toward transforming the real estate world was only just beginning. Barron's vision was evolving beyond just a tech-driven real estate platform. He began to see the broader implications of his work, how it could affect urban planning, social mobility, and even the global economy. As cities around the world became more crowded and resource-constrained, Barron understood that the future of urban living wasn't just about building more houses. It was about creating more intelligent, sustainable, and livable environments. One of his next major projects was the creation of a series of smart cities. Barron was determined to design urban spaces that utilized cutting-edge technology to improve every aspect of daily life, from energy consumption and waste management to transportation and healthcare. These smart cities were meant to serve as models for how future generations could live harmoniously with both technology and nature. The idea of smart cities was revolutionary. Barron's approach involved integrating IoT, Internet of Things, devices to monitor everything from traffic patterns to air quality in real time, using data to create more efficient and sustainable urban environments. Buildings would be equipped with sensors to optimize energy use, and renewable energy sources like solar panels and wind turbines would power entire neighborhoods. Waste management would be automated, and self-driving vehicles would reduce congestion and pollution. The first smart city prototype, called Evolve, was launched in a major metropolitan area on the East Coast. It combined the latest in sustainable construction with the most innovative technology, creating a living space that was both futuristic and incredibly efficient. The city was designed with the future in mind, incorporating flexible housing units that could be adapted to meet changing family needs, as well as community spaces that encouraged collaboration, creativity, and connectivity. Barron was deeply involved in every aspect of the Evolve project. He worked closely with architects, urban planners, engineers, and local government officials to ensure that the city was not just a technological marvel, but also a place that people could truly thrive in. He wanted the city to reflect his core belief that technology should serve humanity, not the other way around. It wasn't enough to have a cool city. It had to be a city where people could build better lives for themselves, regardless of their socioeconomic status. As Evolve began to take shape, Barron's reputation as a visionary in the world of real estate and technology soared. The success of the smart city prototype attracted attention from government officials around the world who were eager to replicate Barron's model in their own countries. Barron was invited to speak at international summits on urban development and technology, where he shared his insights on how smart cities could become the blueprint for the future. But Barron's focus was always on the impact of his work. He wanted to make a real difference in the lives of people who would eventually call these smart cities home. Through VisionX and other initiatives, Barron also launched a series of programs to help young entrepreneurs gain access to the tools and resources they needed to build their own businesses in these innovative spaces. Barron understood that true progress was about creating opportunities for everyone, not just the privileged few. As Evolve became a shining example of what the future could look like, Barron was asked to collaborate with other developers and governments around the world to create similar projects. His influence extended beyond just real estate. He was now seen as a thought leader in the areas of sustainability, technology, and social impact. He was invited to participate in discussions with global leaders about how to create more sustainable, resilient cities in the face of climate change and growing populations. Barron's success in the real estate and technology sectors wasn't just about building profitable companies. It was about creating a legacy of innovation that would shape the future of urban life. He had proven that he could succeed on his own terms, without relying on his father's name or influence. And while his journey had been marked by challenges and moments of doubt, Barron had emerged as a true pioneer in his field. As he looked to the future, Barron knew that his work was far from over. He had accomplished much in his young life, but his ultimate goal was not just to make an impact in business. It was to build a world where technology and human ingenuity worked together to create a better, more sustainable future for all. And with each new project, Barron Trump continued to push the boundaries of what was possible, showing the world that the future of real estate, and of society itself, lay in the hands of those who dared to innovate. Barron Trump's story is one of resilience, vision, and the pursuit of something greater than personal success. From the beginning, Barron faced the inevitable shadow of his father's legacy, but he chose not to let it define him. Instead, he used it as fuel to forge his own path, one that was driven by innovation, a deep understanding of technology, and a desire to make a meaningful impact on the world. Through his startup VisionX, Barron demonstrated that success in real estate didn't have to come through traditional methods. He revolutionized the industry with artificial intelligence and blockchain, proving that technology could transform even the most traditional of sectors. He showed that even in an age of disruption, the key to progress lies in embracing change and finding new solutions to old problems. As he built VisionX into a global leader and launched groundbreaking projects like Evolve, Barron never lost sight of his core values: sustainability, inclusivity, and creating opportunities for all. His focus on affordable housing and eco-friendly construction methods set him apart as a leader who sought to use his success for the greater good, rather than just for personal gain. Barron's journey was not without its struggles. He faced skepticism, rejection, and challenges that would have deterred many others. But through it all, Barron remained steadfast in his belief that the future of real estate, and indeed the world, would be shaped by technology, innovation, and a commitment to solving society's most pressing issues. In the end, Barron Trump's legacy is one of redefining what it means to be a successful entrepreneur. He proved that with hard work, a clear vision, and a willingness to challenge the status quo, anyone can create a future of their own design. Barron's story is a testament to the power of individual determination and the ability to build something extraordinary without relying on past achievements or the expectations of others. His work continues to inspire the next generation of innovators and entrepreneurs, who will undoubtedly carry forward his mission to create a world where technology and human progress intersect for the betterment of all. Barron's journey shows that the true legacy is not just about what you inherit, but about what you leave behind for the future.